what you're saying. Nani? Get out my business, okay?
So basically, hey, how you guys doing? This is the Money Show, the Identity Booth. You are watching our Saturday show that we're finally bringing back. So give ourselves a pat on the back. We're bringing it back. 6 people this morning want to talk about money with us, and we're not going to delay. So shout out to you guys for knowing that. My name is Heero. That's Eric. And our goal here is to update you guys on the last week market review to give you a better idea of what you should be thinking and doing next week. A big part of this show and the whole Trade Tried moniker for us is establishing financial literacy. There's no reason why we all can't make money out here. Hey, what up, Chris? So without any further ado, Eric, tell us, man, what's the market looking like?
All right, so for all of us people who live here in the United States, I'm going to start off with the dollar index. Why is this important? This basically shows you the current market value of where the dollar is. And based on the price movement, you can pretty much predict how strong your buying power is going to be, what the federal government is or isn't doing, any kind of catastrophic events that happen affect our money. So we have to be paying attention to our money. So this chart here is this is a 1 hour chart of the dollar index. And I basically have about 3 weeks of data on the screen here, starting down here at the most recent point. That was Friday. Now I want you guys to draw some attention to right here. 2 weeks ago, we see the dollar take a huge run up, but we had a lot of financial news. But why is this important? So I'm gonna go over to I want you guys to kind of look at the pattern here on the chart, and I'm gonna go to some precious metals first. So this is silver. Now, why is this important? Because if you can predict where the dollar's going, if I block off that section, if you take a snapshot in your head, and then you see here, you pretty much can time up these movements with the movement of the dollar. They are very much connected. So if you can predict the dollar's going one way, you can predict which way silver is going to go. And so we see the dollar had a very strong run up yesterday, and now we see silver just kind of fell off a cliff. But here's the next one. Here's gold. Dollar had it took a dip this week, and look, gold ran up. So gold is inversely correlated with the dollar. That means it goes in the opposite direction. So again, if you know where the dollar's going with some pretty good certainty, you know which way you should be trading on these charts, 70-80% of the time. So again, gold had a surprisingly good week this week, which is good for me. Any of you people who are not into precious metals, I would recommend start slowly buying into precious metals.
With that, can you give an idea of what precious metals are? Because I know a lot of people hear that, but they don't know what that means.
Okay, so historically, there's a few metals that retain value and are used have a lot of infrastructure applications and just practical applications as far as mediums of exchange. Gold, silver have been used, even copper have been used as mediums of exchange for thousands of years. This goes back to ancient times. Anyway, it is fairly agreed upon that these shiny pieces of metal have value. And so the reason why it is good to have some of it in your portfolio, whether you hold physical assets or you're invested into like gold or silver mining stocks, palladium, platinum, copper, if you're in the mining stocks, if you don't want to hold the metal or you don't have anywhere to hold the metal, you don't want to go buy some guns in a safe and keep it, then you can get into the stocks. Heero and I have talked about that. I know that's something that Heero has in his portfolio, because it's good to be diversified in your portfolio if you don't know what you're doing. So we gotta watch the gold. Gold's expensive to get into. You see it hit up here. What was this? It finished at a high of 18.18.5. That's a lot of money. That's $18,000 when you could just get into silver. Where did silver finish last week? It closed at $26.10. It's really easy. So usually places that sell silver, and I've bought silver, they sell it anywhere between $2 and $4 above the current market value. So it fluctuates daily, but it's easy to get into. I mean, if you got a few grand sitting around, it wouldn't be a bad idea to either physically hold it or to get into the mining stocks. And then see if you can find a mining stock that pays out a dividend. Here on now, we'll talk about that later. But if you can find some of those mining stocks to pay out a dividend, you could be diversified in some precious metal and get a yearly return on your investment. So again, everything we say here is just what we do. It's not any financial advice. We are not financial professionals, but this is just how we see the market, and this is just our own financial philosophy. So as you can see here, I had some stuff marked up here to take some trades down here those actually panned out for me before it moved back up. I do have some things on my chart here. If you would like some more information on why those lines are there and what they mean, you can DM me later, and I don't have a problem going through some chart analysis with you and kind of get you guys familiar with the charts. Let's keep cruising. That's gold. So this is crude oil. This is crude oil, and you see we had a run up last week, made a high, and then just took a crash. Well, why in the world did that happen? Crude oil inventories have drastically gone up. The supply is up, demand is and demand is down, and so this happened on Thursday at 10 a.m. So since the market's doing better, look at this. This is what happened. Tuesday price goes down, boom, it comes back up. So when you see this news, you already know this is Thursday. I knew to get in here and follow it up. So you gotta be checking these things. This stuff. What's happening on the chart is a result of something that men and women have agreed upon before the market moves. Nothing happens on this chart unless men and women have agreed upon it days or weeks in advance. So again, we knew that there was a day that this news was going to come out. All this stuff's announced is on a schedule. It's on a calendar. And by the way, this is at Forex Factory because I'm a commodities trader. But again, I literally know when announcements are going to happen. They literally have it to the minute when the announcement is going to happen. Let me see if I can show more. So
Shout
again,
out
this is next
Superhuman.
week.
What's up?
What up, Superhuman? So again, CPI Tuesday. I'm already expecting the market to do something. CPI is a big thing. PPI is a big thing. Fed Chair Powell is testifying on Thursday. I'm expecting the market to have a huge thing.
I was kind of nervous about that because one, we saw the dwindling. The job numbers are a little bit concerning, and also we know that a big money market in the Olympics is going to TV only, so travel is going to be down. The variance and the deltas are starting. The delta variance is very precarious right now, so the market is definitely bracing for impact. If you have something that is, if you've been watching something for the last 3 weeks and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna just hold on a little longer, it might be time for you to go ahead take your losses, because you would be much more prepared to buy back in 2 weeks when I think the market's going to get a little bruised up, because we saw great numbers for a lot of bad news to come out.
Yeah. And so y'all make sure what Heero said to y'all put a pin in it, because once I get into the stock indexes, is that what he just said is going to be very, very, very important. So this is the pound US dollar. This is a foreign exchange currency pair. And remember, I showed you guys that the value of the dollar was going down toward the end of the week. And you see here at the end of the week, the pound dollar currency pair went up. So again, when the dollar was moving up at the beginning of the week, this pair was going down. When the dollar turned around, this pair went up. And I was just waiting for my chance to get in at specific points, and I have those marked out on the chart for specific reasons. Again, I don't have a problem going over you guys with that. This one actually did way better than I thought. It actually got right to my target and kept going, and I did not expect that. So yeah, that was let me see, how much was that? got in down here during this time. It's like most of y'all asleep during that time. That's about like 1
That's at
in the
1 a.m., man.
Yeah. So that's about $800 right there. That's about $800.
Oh yeah, Superhuman. We have to Superhuman gives a great compliment to Eric. We have to because like it's a superficial conversation you can have about money. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. But at some point, stacking money at that speed and at that rate becomes mundane. It almost costs you more to do it the easy way. So you have to be able to look at these in-depth analysis and markups so you can be ahead of the curve because you think that the person you're trying to aspire to be in the money market, I always tell people have a money market icon. Like it's weird to say because you don't want those in real life, but in the money market, you definitely want that because those are people who are making wealth. Like there's a great picture. There's a great picture of Drake having dinner at a closed Dodge Stadium in LA.
Yeah.
Talk about he's on home plate eating dinner with some random girl on a closed baseball stadium. Like I never want to be that rich, but hey,
why not?
Hey, if I had to go down a list of problems me and Drake have, I'm pretty sure Drake's doing okay. So think about that.
Yeah. So, bro, this is the pound dollar. This man took a massive run, but again, you come over here and see what was going on last week. I see what happened. Here we go. The Bank of England Governor Bailey spoke. So, what happened with the Great British Pound? Pounds. If you go to poundsterling.com or something like that. I think Pound Sterling Live or something like that. You can get what's going on in the financial realm as far as it pertains to the UK. So Governor Bailey spoke, talked about their new monetary policy, talked about slowing down with the quantitative easing, which is basically pumping artificial money into the economy to quote unquote boost it, to get people to be encouraged to go out and spend their money to kind of even out. They want the spending to be greater than the inflation. And speaking of inflation, she also talked about trying to bring down inflation. So they set a hard interest rate at 2%. They don't want to jack it up too much because then it becomes if you jack the interest rate up too quickly, all the financial institutions tighten up because they don't want to loan out money. So that's why they do these things. So it's a very delicate dance. They want to pump money into the economy to encourage people to spend without jacking up the interest rates to offset everything, because then people become penny pinchers. People start saving more money. They won't spend it. The banks won't lend out money. And so this is what's going on, especially when you live in a world with fiat currency. You got to understand this stuff, because if you don't, you will get taken to the cleaners, which we're going to learn about some people getting taken to the cleaners later on. So you got to be watching these things. And so just for if any of y'all are in the market, forexfactory.com, you don't have to trade Forex. There's a calendar, and I have a filter on. And the filter, I only want the medium and high impact news, and I only want to see stuff that pertains to Switzerland, China, any of the Eurozone, the pound, and the US dollar. I don't care about these smaller nations because I don't trade any of those currency pairs. I'm mainly using this because I trade contracts for difference, which is what you guys will see here in a little bit. These are the stock market indexes. So from here, let's go up. That's a euro. I showed you that one. This is the euro dollar. And I got that one too. Hasn't quite gotten to my target. I'm hoping I can get up here, but it may end up turning around. We'll see what happens with the dollar next week. Monitoring that one. This is the FTSE 100. This is the UK stock market. Now notice. This is Thursday. Price is going down. The announcement happens Friday. She speaks, and you see their index just shoots back up. So all this stuff all this stuff's a game. It's a shell game. Mm-hmm. You guys gotta just know that the market is a shell game. Heero and I know that. That's why when when we first started, we got super excited and we had our feelings attached. Now we know we just
Yeah.
have to do this robotically. If
Yeah.
I lose
Yeah.
because I know it's a shell game. I just have to be better than them the next time, right, bro?
Yep. No, absolutely. And to that point, uh, I always tell people, think about that amount of money that if you looked at your bank account and saw that amount of money was missing, you would like have a like oh no type moment. That's your limit. That's
Yes.
your limit. That is your comfortability limit. And don't be like, dang, is that bad? No, it's called human nature. It's a self-defense mechanism that
Yes.
that is internalized, not even from an aspect of a lion standing in front of you, but an internalized fear you have. Use that to your advantage, because as you become more comfortable with your financial literacy, that number will start to increase. Like, I remember when losing $60 was tough for me. When I started my account with only $15.34, losing $60 was terrifying to me. But now, I lost $2,000 like 2 months ago, and I made that back already. And I was just like, nah, okay, you guys got me there. You guys got me there. But it's hard for me to sit here and complain when I was sitting on 8 free GME stocks that I got for opening up my account, and then all of a sudden they go through the moon and they're all over $100. So like, you win some, you lose some, but it's because of your education that will guarantee you winning more than you're losing.
That's well said. So remember, guys, you get a number, you stick with that. Maybe you get to that number. Maybe you scale it back just a little bit under that number and put that into the market. But before you do that, learn something. Don't care who you learn from. As long as they're consistent, they're not ripping you off, charging your arm and a leg to quote unquote teach you how to do something or give you signals. Do not sign up for a signal service. Do not do that. Take your time and learn how to do this.
Literally,
You already work a job.
I'll tell you this. Anytime somebody gives you a skinny thing, I'm about to just give you one for free right now. Like,
Yeah.
I could
Straight
give
up.
you one for free right now. There's no point in you ever wasting money unless this person is promising you like in-depth signal things. And if they're promising you that type of stuff, then they can already do it. So, hey, sign up. Webull is literally free.
Yep.
There's the link. And Webull has its own screener built-in feature. For what you're trying to do, if you're trying to learn signals and screeners, for what you're trying to do, Webull has a free version of it. And with that one, you can win up to 100. You can win up to 4 stocks, $1,200 with the max. So go have a ball.
Yes. So this is the FTSE 100. This is the top 100 companies, large companies in the UK. So I'm going to give y'all some background. I'm going to explain all the different stock market indexes for y'all. So I trade this one because it's just one and it's easy to predict. It looks very, very similar to something else. Let me go to S&P 500. S&P 500 did the very much same thing. Made a high, came down, took out a low, retested, and then moved higher. So this one I actually got wrong. See, I had it marked up. This one stopped me out. I was expecting it to go lower. It did not. So that's what happens. I did not expect the pound news to affect the U.S. stock market, and that was a wrong assessment. See, it's again me telling you where I missed it. So I usually do this on the weekends. I will go through and I will look at my charts and I will mark them up. And once I get a direction, then what I do is I go down to a smaller time frame and I look for every single day. So every yellow line's a day, and so I'm looking at places to enter a trade based on the directional bias I have for the week. So that's my style. That's what I do. But again, I can go into more depth about that later. So you see S&P, boom. But if I zoom out for you, look at the stock market. This is the S&P. So S&P, oh Lord, I mean, zoom down for you. So look how it's just running. This is May. And look how high it's running this short period of time. This is insane. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can't do that for you now. Or actually, can I? Nope, it didn't work. Okay. I was trying to take some of these lines off. Didn't work. But yeah, you see it running up. It's just absolutely insane how far it's gotten over this little bit of time. And our what Hero was talking about, the jobs, the unemployment claims are up over was it 50,000 more than 20,000 more than were expected.
Mm-hmm.
Claims were filed this past month. That's really high. People don't want to go back to work. And again, we see the stock market keeps running up. We know that this is all gas. This is a train with no brakes, and it doesn't end well. So if you
Yeah.
got an opportunity, get in. Here is the small cap. These are the 2,000 most popular small cap stocks. You see, again, this to me, the reason why I like watching this one, this is middle America. This is more truthful of what is actually going on in the United States. This is fluctuation. This is not what we just saw, a massive bull run, a train with no brakes. This is actually the smaller companies that actually have legit volatility. We see we got ebbs and flows. I feel so much better looking at this one, but I know I can't turn the blind eye to the other one. So again, you see the same thing. Made a high, came down, and then on Friday, we said we broke a low, came back, tried to retest, and went higher. It literally the same thing happened on every chart. Here we go. This is the Dow Jones. This is large cap. See, Dow Jones is way different, but if I zoom out, you'll see the Dow Jones is doing the same thing. It is just running away. Sorry, people. You might find the chart, but you see, we hit these really large dips, and it just boom, and it's been historically running for well since March of last year. It's been really taking a run to the high. I don't understand how this can happen with all the other economic things we have going on in this country right now. But anyway, that's that one. Oh, sorry, change that. And then let's go to one more. This is big tech. This is the Nasdaq 100. So whenever you see if you own Tesla, if you own GameStop, if you any of these tech companies are on the Nasdaq. So again, here's another move. I was expecting it to go down a little bit lower. It didn't do that. It stopped right here and took off. So again, I missed that one, but you see the same kind of thing, the same kind of like pattern. It came down, came back, tried to retest, and kept on going up higher. So I'm assuming that this is just gonna keep running. The tech stocks are doing well. Facebook, Amazon, they're all on the Nasdaq. So when those companies are doing well, you can kind of tell. Like the larger companies, the FANG stocks, they pretty much drive the price of the Nasdaq because they're some of the larger companies on there. So if they're all having a down day and you miss that move, you may be able to come over here if you have if you can trade an index or if you can trade a contract for difference, you could probably get in later. And I have everything on my chart broken down by the hour and time of day. I'll take this off for you so you can actually see. But yeah, if you let's say you missed what time is this? This is 9 a.m. Let's say you have to be at work Central Time. This is 7 8. Well, yes, this is 8 a.m. Central Time. Let's say you missed that one. You still got opportunity to break it down and come here. Okay, maybe I can get 8:30, or maybe I can get 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock still would have gotten you in right at the beginning of the move, and you could have made some money. So you just gotta know what you're doing, know what you're looking at, be able to put all the information together. It does take time, but if you can master that, you can always make some money. And the ultimate goal is to not be dependent on an external source of income for your livelihood. You got to be thinking different. You know, we have grocery stores buying up exorbitant amounts of food right now and stockpiling food. I'm seeing that in the news. That's now for a reason. We have an inflated stock market, which is a second sign. If grocery stores are buying extra food to stockpile, that lets you know that they know something's happening. If you see the stock market continuing to go up, but we have high unemployment claims, we do not have the value of our dollar is going down. That lets us know that something's happened, but you got to be paying attention to this. It's more than just trading. This is about what's going to be happening in the future. And if you know how to just look at this and interpret the data, you're going to be ahead of what's coming. So Heero and I have a plan to insulate ourselves financially from the need for external sources to make biweekly deposits. Right, bro? I mean, how many times have you and I talked about this? And I know this is the last chart that I want to show. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen if you want to go back to chat for 2.
Sure.
But I mean,
The thing,
ultimately,
the,
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
the thing that Eric is alluding to, and he's so eloquently stated, is your revenues of income really dictate your lifestyle. Like I always ask people that question, like, so what are you invested in? And they'll be like, no, I just have a job. That lets me know that you live paycheck to paycheck. And there's nothing, well, there's something inherently wrong with it. It's just a capitalistic mindset that you need to do. That is, you're using to debilitate yourself and in turn making your lifestyle difficult. But like when I moved and I had my payment, before I asked to borrow money, I could sell 12 shares of Apple at their peak 2 months ago and was able to make my transfer. And that was it. So I just needed a couple of thousands for whatever I wanted to. So now that it's time to reinvest, and that's a quick little shout out perk that when the time comes, I'll be doing where I spend like $5,000 on the market in real time, and I give $1,000 to the chat to spend for me. So like your ability to make multiple revenue, like I'm trying to get these duplexes so I can have someone paying my mortgage. I'm trying to get these bonuses so I can pay off for these vehicles. I'm trying to get this electric car so I can stop America from having wars overseas in the grand scheme of things. But all in all, to say, your investing power or your ability to diversify your own income speaks volumes about your character and your ability to plan and not even necessarily foresee the future, because that's a difficult task to do. That's a difficult thing to do, to try and predict the future. But it doesn't hurt to take a gamble on yourself. If you're going to bet on anyone, bet on yourself, right? But I mean, for all that, Sibsworth, I mean, this is the Identity Booth. We appreciate you guys joining us for this segment. We're going to be coming to you guys with a news update on the story real quick. But for everything else, you guys can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All those links will actually be down there in the description below. The Linktree, Anchor. Hey, and if you're so inclined, feel free to sub to the Twitch channel. We have a goal of trying to get up to the Twitch particles and all the little crystal things and cool things that Twitch does for us, but we're trying to get our sub count up, we're trying to get our follow count up. So anything you guys can do to help out with that, share, like, subscribe. You guys know the whole routine. We'll catch up with you in a second, but as always, thanks Eric for doing that deep dive analysis, and we'll catch you guys later.
Slow it down and we can catch the vibe. But it's so hard to find through the daily grind. Been working overtime, and I'm sleep deprived. Shorty on my line and we fuss and fight. Seems like